The story that broke today is one that you will not believe, and honestly, it sounds like something straight out of a movie script, but this is as real as it gets. The New York Times just published a report that has left everyone in total shock. It turns out that the United States of America, the most powerful country in the world with all its intelligence agencies and military resources, relied heavily on information from a man named Emeka Umeagbalasi to launch airstrikes right here in Nigeria on Christmas Day. Now, who is this Emeka Umeagbalasi? Is he some high-level intelligence officer or security expert? No, my friends, this man owns a small shop in Onitsha Market in Anambra State, where he sells screwdrivers and wrenches. Yes, a screwdriver trader in Onitsha became one of the key sources that influenced American military action in Nigeria. Let me take you back to how we got here. In October last year, President Donald Trump redesignated Nigeria as a country of particular concern, claiming there was a Christian genocide happening. Trump said thousands of Christians were being killed by radical Islamists, and he threatened that the United States would invade Nigeria with guns blazing if our government did nothing. Then on December 26th, American forces launched airstrikes in Sokoto State, targeting what they said were Islamic State militants. According to the New York Times investigation published today, the data that American lawmakers used to push this narrative came from Emeka Umeagbalasi. He founded an organization called the International Society for Civil Liberties and Rule of Law, which he runs from his house with his wife, Blessing. He claims to have documented 125,000 Christian deaths since 2009. When reporters pressed him on how he collected this data, Mr. Umeagbalasi admitted that he rarely verifies his information and hardly ever travels to the regions where these attacks happen. Instead, he simply assumes the religion of victims based on where the attack occurred. When asked about his sources, he pointed to Google searches and Nigerian media reports. Now here is the truly shocking part. Those American airstrikes that happened on Christmas Day in Sokoto State reportedly missed their main target completely. Bello Turji, one of Nigeria's most notorious bandit leaders who has been terrorizing communities across Sokoto and Zamfara states, survived the strikes with only a minor injury. Just days ago, between January 12th and 15th, Turji launched a fresh wave of violent attacks across multiple communities in Sokoto State. His fighters stormed Tidibale village in Isa local government area on Monday night, forcing entire families to flee their homes within 24 hours. Then they attacked Gajit community, injuring people and kidnapping at least 20 residents. The very next day, they hit Lugu village, killing and injuring several people and abducting at least 15 more, including men and women. Residents are now fleeing in huge numbers, some even risking dangerous journeys across the border into Niger Republic just to escape Turji's reign of terror. Think about what this means. The United States launched military strikes based on questionable information from a man in Onitsha who admits he Googles his data, and the actual terrorist who has killed hundreds of Nigerians and displaced thousands more was barely scratched. Bello Turji, who masterminded the slaughter of over 200 people in Zamfara in 2022, who kidnaps school children and forces entire villages to evacuate, who runs a criminal empire that operates across multiple states. This is the man who should have been the target. But instead, the strikes were based on narratives about Christian genocide that security experts say oversimplify Nigeria's complex security crisis. Both Christians and Muslims are suffering from banditry and terrorism, but when policy decisions are made based on assumptions rather than verified intelligence, the real criminals continue their operations undisturbed. If you have been watching and enjoying this content, please make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because stories like this are exactly why we need to stay informed. Now, let us talk about Sheikh Gumi, because his role in all of this cannot be ignored. While Mr. Umeagbalasi was in Onitsha providing information that influenced American strikes, Sheikh Gumi has been on the other extreme, visiting bandit camps and calling these criminals our brothers. Just a few days ago, on January 14th, Nigeria's Defense Minister, General Christopher Musa, issued a strong warning to Sheikh Gumi and others sympathetic to bandits, saying that a friend of a thief is a thief. Sheikh Gumi has argued that dialogue is the only solution and that these bandits are just misunderstood Fulani headsmen fighting for survival. He has even said that kidnapping school children is a lesser evil than killing soldiers, statements that have made many Nigerians call for his arrest. Think about the irony here. On one hand, you have Mr. Umeagbalasi using Google searches to claim genocide and influencing foreign military intervention. On the other hand, you have Sheikh Gumi legitimizing criminals by calling them brothers and undermining security efforts. Meanwhile, the real terrorist, Bello Turji, is still out there right now, forcing families from their homes, kidnapping people for ransom, and turning entire communities into ghost towns. Just this week, over 20 settlements in Isa local government area have been evacuated because of his threats. Families are sleeping in open fields as internally displaced persons, mothers do not know where their next meal will come from, and children are going hungry. One resident said his brother was kidnapped, and even after paying 5 million naira ransom, the bandits demanded another 2.5 million naira before releasing him. This is the reality on the ground, but the narratives being pushed by people like Mr. Umeagbalasi and Sheikh Gumi do not capture this complexity. Nigeria deserves better than both of these extreme narratives. We need accurate intelligence, verified information, and real solutions, not Google searches or visits to criminal hideouts. The fact that American lawmakers used questionable research to push for military intervention shows how dangerous misinformation can be. The fact that Sheikh Gumi's statements have emboldened criminal networks shows how dangerous rhetoric can be when it legitimizes violence. And the fact that Bello Turji is still terrorizing communities after surviving those strikes shows that when policy is based on flawed intelligence, the people who suffer most are ordinary Nigerians trying to live their lives in peace. What do you think about this situation? Should Mr. Umeagbalasi and Sheikh Gumi be held accountable for their influence on Nigeria's security crisis? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and share this video so others can understand what is really happening. Stay informed and stay safe.